There was a sister named Alexa and her brother named Connor, both 17 years old. They had lost their father at a very young age. Their father was always there for them whenever they were down and needed a push. Alexa loved her father very much. Several years after their father's death, their mother was diagnosed with a very serious disease. Alexa was so sad and ashamed of herself that she decided to give up. But the thing that Alexa loved was to read. She was the best student at her school and surpassed her classmates in every subject they studied. Unfortunately, the other students became jealous of the little girl and were intimidated by her. Instead of praising her intelligence, the children teased and bullied her for being so smart. They wouldn't play with her on the playground or eat lunch with her in the cafeteria. The little girl became very lonely. Whenever the little girl felt sad, she would read a new book from the library.
Ah, look, Mindy, that bookworm is here again.
Again? Isn't she already smart enough? Why does she need to be more?
I bet she will answer all the questions the teacher will ask tomorrow.
Wish we could really stop her somehow.
I wonder what book she is reading. Do you have any idea how we can get the book from her?
Idea? We don't need an idea. Let's just snatch the book from her.
But what if the librarian catches us? We will really get into trouble then.
Maybe I can distract the librarian while we snatch the book from her. Then, can you see the sick girl there? Maybe we could tell that bookworm to give her a glass of water.
And while she is doing that, I can scribble on the book, and oh, I can't wait to see her getting a punishment.
Cindy, look, the librarian's not here today. This might be the chance we were waiting for. I'm coming with you.
Then what are you waiting for? Let's go.
Hey Alex, do you see that sick girl there? Well, she's really sick and she wants a glass of water, and I have very less water in my water bottle. So do you mind if you share your water with her?
Sure, Mindy. I will give her some of my water. How are you now? Here, have some water.
Time passed, and the little girl was a young woman. Her passion for knowledge made her a very wise person, and the mistreatment she experienced as a child made her sympathetic to the other people's need. Unfortunately, the young woman's superior leadership intimidated the adults in her life. They became envious of her abilities and made her life difficult whenever they could. Alexa had many side interests, including drawing, dancing, and basketball. Even though she was pretty good at them, though she would always get discriminated. She was sick of hearing people talking bad about her. Though everyone spoke ill of her, she never retaliated. That's why people took advantage of her. Since there always seemed to be bad criticisms about Alexa's good qualities, she gravely feared making any mistakes. So she held herself to an unhealthy level of perfectionism. But it wasn't Alexa's fault for thinking this way. You see, no one ever told her it was okay to make mistakes. No one told her there was nothing wrong with needing help. No one told her it was normal to feel upset or angry or overwhelmed now and then. Everyone in her life took her perfectionism for granted and didn't realize how suffocating it was. Not only was Alexa very smart and beautiful, but she was also very kind-hearted and down-to-earth. She would love to visit the orphanage and old age homes every week on Sundays. Her mother always taught her to be humble and kind to everyone, even those who comprised against her. After a few years, Alexa's mother got better and her health was returning.
Mother, why don't you take my life away? You see, everyone has a problem with me, and I seem to make no difference. In fact, I am only a nerd, as everyone says.
You're a young woman, Alexa. People have made you feel bad for being so successful and hardworking. And that bad thought, which is like a curse, is in your head. It makes you feel like it's the end of the world. You think you've disappointed all of us by being so vulnerable to something you can't even help. But the only thing that must have ever disappointed us is if you give up fighting. Look, Alexa, it was never your fault. Then why are you giving up? You're a young woman, Alexa. People have made you feel bad for being so successful and hardworking. And that bad thought, which is like a curse, is in your head. It makes you feel like it's the end of the world. You think you've disappointed all of us by being so vulnerable to something you can't even help. But the only thing that must have ever disappointed us is if you give up fighting. Look, Alexa, it was never your fault. Then why are you giving up?
Even though I didn't intentionally hurt anyone, people still got hurt because of me. I didn't know I was capable of so much damage. Myself, every book I have read has a happy ending, but my story has none of it.
Happily ever after does not exist. My dear, look. Happily ever after is not a solution to life's problems, nor is a guarantee that life would be easy. It's a promise we make to ourselves to live our best life despite the circumstances. When we focus on our joy in times of heartbreak, when we choose to laugh on days it's hard to smile, and when we count our blessings over our losses, that's what truly happily ever after is all about. You don't get there by being perfect. In fact, it's how we pick up ourselves from the ground and learn from our mistakes and faults.
I love you, Mother, with all my heart. Thank you for all you've done for me.
Moral of the story: being yourself means living life how you want to live it, regardless of other people's opinion, and to respect yourself. Don't worry about what others think. You can't control them or their thoughts. If you like who you are, that's all that matters.